The last 3 baby evil dragons in the world had just hatched from their eggs, but the wicked king took advantage of the evil dragon's absence and ordered his soldiers to kill these 3 baby evil dragons. Under the soldiers' sharp swords, the 3 baby evil dragons were mercilessly killed on their very first day of life. The evil dragon heard the cries of its children and hurried back, but it was too late. Facing these invaders, the enraged evil dragon spewed lava, instantly turning the group of soldiers before it into charred remains. Even the guards by the king's side couldn't escape death. The king, in order to save his own life, humbly knelt and begged for mercy. He was willing to pay any price if the evil dragon would spare his life. The evil dragon didn't kill the human in front of it so easily. It wanted the king to taste its pain. From then on, every new king who inherited the throne had to sacrifice the king's 3 daughters to appease the evil dragon's vengeance. But they underestimated the king's shameful behavior. They first deceived girls from outside under the pretense of Prince Henry's marriage, then mixed their blood with the royal blood, making these innocent girls bear the punishment instead of the royal family. Elodie was one of those deceived into marriage and married to Prince Henry. But on the very first day of becoming a princess, she was thrown into a bottomless abyss by Prince Henry as a sacrifice to the evil dragon beneath the earth, all to repay a debt owed by the royal family thousands of years ago. She fell all the way down, but luckily, vines softened the impact, and she survived. She cried out to Prince Henry for help, but there was no response. Instead, she awakened the sleeping evil dragon. Looking at the pile of jewelry and crowns on the ground that didn't belong to her, Elodie realized she had been tricked into marriage and used as a sacrificial offering. At this moment, she noticed a faint glow coming from the depths of the cave. Cautiously approaching, she saw a bird engulfed in flames struggling desperately. Despite being in danger herself, kind-hearted Elodie quickly extinguished the flames with mud, but she still couldn't save it. Suddenly, a loud roar echoed through the cave. In the dark depths of the cave, flaming birds flew towards her. This cruel scene terrified her, and at that moment, a huge creature appeared before her. Elodie was so scared that she quickly turned and ran, hiding behind a stone pillar, not daring to breathe loudly. But the evil dragon had already discovered her. The evil dragon had smelled the royal blood flowing in Elodie's veins. Elodie looked at her palm and finally understood why, during the wedding ceremony with Prince Henry, they had cut their hands. It was to make the royal blood flow in Elodie's body. But realizing this now was too late. However, the evil dragon didn't rush to take her life. Instead, it let her escape to satisfy its own desire to torment and kill. Elodie could only run forward. The evil dragon began to gather its strength, and a surge of molten lava spewed from its mouth. Elodie ran desperately, and during her escape, she saw a charred body lying on the ground. She had seen this person in the palace before. It was clear that this was the first victim of this sacrifice, and Elodie would be the second. Soon, the evil dragon launched its second attack. In despair, Elodie hid in a narrow crevice. Although she temporarily saved her life, her thigh was still burned by the molten lava. She screamed in agony, but the evil dragon didn't intend to let her go so easily. Elodie bit her lip to keep from making a sound. The evil dragon, hearing no noise, slowly left. Elodie tore a piece of cloth from her clothes and wrapped it around the wound. Although she was born a princess, Elodie's body was not weaker than that of an ordinary man. To survive, she took the spices from her waist and lit them as a candle, trying to find a way out. She crawled along the cave, but almost got stuck in the crevice. She struggled hard and finally fell down, but the fall was heavy, and the only light source was burned out at this moment. However, she made a new discovery. A blue glow ahead caught her attention. But it was a cliff with a deep, bottomless gorge in the middle and a slope on the other side. At this moment, she had truly reached a dead end. Elodie was extremely resentful of the royal family's actions. She threw the wedding ring down and, with a determined heart, ran towards the slope on the opposite side. Although she successfully jumped to the other side, the surface was too smooth, and her whole body slid downward. Fortunately, at this moment, The queen's custom-made dress caught on a rock crevice. Elodie, bit by bit, used this support to climb up and finally reached a safe position. She then began to examine these glowing things. These creatures, which could emit a blue light, were similar to slugs, and the pillars were covered with the mucus they secreted. Elodie thought of using them as fireflies for lighting. After collecting some, she prepared to go deeper. A pool of water on the ground made her excited. She couldn't wait to scoop it up and drink it, but the stagnant water in this pool was very dirty. She then looked at the water dripping from above and immediately stood underneath to catch it with her mouth. But at this moment, an unexpected event occurred. A shadow appeared, causing the icicles to melt rapidly. The original cold color gradually turned into a warm color. It was the evil dragon gathering its strength to spew lava. Elodie quickly dodged to the side, barely avoiding the fatal strike. Without time to think, she quickly got up and ran away. The massive body of the evil dragon was stuck outside. Elodie, with the blue light emitted by the slugs, discovered the words, "It's safe here," written on the wall. Looking back, there were also some clothes on the ground. From the names left on the wall, it seemed that many people had escaped here before, all leaving their names on the wall. However, it was unknown if anyone had ever escaped alive. Elodie felt both joy and despair. In this fear and unease, she hugged the only slug that could bring a little peace of mind, and slowly fell asleep. In her daze, she seemed to see the queens who had escaped here before. After an unknown period of time, Elodie discovered that slugs had crawled onto her burned calf. She quickly untied the wrapped cloth, and then pulled these slugs off one by one. However, gradually, she found that her wound had completely healed. Elodie couldn't believe her eyes as she stared at this glowing little creature. To verify her guess, she placed the slug on her scraped arm. Before long, a magical scene occurred. The wound, after being licked by this creature, actually healed. Elodie, who had recovered to her best condition, continued to look for a way out. On the wall, there was a route left by previous people. As long as she followed the indicated path, she would see the sun. With hope, Elodie tore off her restrictive wedding dress, carved her name on the wall, and continued forward along the path indicated by those who had come before her. This part of the journey was not too dangerous, except for a vertical crystal cave entrance that needed to be climbed out of. The entrance was right above, but the crystals were too sharp. A moment of carelessness could result in being cut from foot to head, leading to a tragic end. To survive, Elodie had to take the risk no matter what. Elodie discovered a crown left by a queen nearby. It was very likely that the other person had used the crown to climb up and then left it for those who came later. The successful precedent gave Elodie more confidence. She wrapped her palms and soles with cloth strips and then, holding the crown, climbed up little by little. Elodie came from a small country, and this marriage alliance with the kingdom of Aurelia was truly a helpless move. But she was not as weak as imagined. These crystals were dangerous, but they were also the key to her escape. Just as Elodie had climbed most of the way, the evil dragon appeared below at some point. Elodie's foot slipped, and she almost fell. The crystal, after such a shake, also showed cracks. Elodie barely managed to use the crown to hang on this large crystal. She also saw the evil dragon at the bottom of the cave growling, but this was not enough to scare her. Elodie calmly continued to climb. This time, she finally made it to the top safely. But just as she was happy to have escaped, she suddenly found herself on a cliff. She thought she had escaped from danger, but she was trapped in another perilous situation. The royal castle that had deceived her was just below, but at this moment, it was difficult for her to get out. But at this moment, Elodie suddenly saw someone passing by the mountain below. She shouted loudly for help. Her cry once again attracted the evil dragon. The words left on the wall by the person who had escaped here before. "It's not safe here," and the charred bones of that person were still there.
Free must be given.
The voice of the Lord from the mountain below saved Elodie's life. Elodie listened carefully, and the voice had already reached the mountain. It turned out that Elodie's father had brought 3 helpers to find her. The Lord felt guilty about the marriage alliance. After hearing that Elodie had been sacrificed, he brought people to find her from the bottom of the mountain. Elodie quickly ran back along the Lord's voice, but unintentionally, she came to the evil dragon's base. There were a large number of gold jewelry left by previous people here, and most importantly, there were the dried corpses of 3 baby evil dragons. Until now, Elodie had only guessed a little bit of the truth. At this moment, the helpers brought by the Lord found their way. Elodie didn't dare to respond, as this might attract the evil dragon. The legend of the evil dragon was well known to these people. It was only because Elodie's father offered a high price that they were willing to come and guide the way. Just then, the evil dragon suddenly appeared, grabbed one of them, and his screams made Elodie's father discover this scene as well. Before they could recover from the shock, the evil dragon picked up the person and threw him out, and the person fell to the ground without a sound. Another person tried to escape, but was grabbed and thrown to the ground in the same way. In the eyes of the evil dragon, humans were as easy to kill as ants.
Why are you here?
I'm here for my daughter.
The Lord's words seemed to deeply provoke the evil dragon. In its eyes, humans should all be selfish, but this person was risking his life to find his own daughter, and even dared to challenge it, which made the evil dragon very uncomfortable. It used its tail, which was dozens of meters long, to coil around the Lord, hanging him upside down in the air, and the sword in his hand also fell. The evil dragon had already smelled Elodie's presence through the bloodline. It wanted to use the Lord to lure Elodie out. Elodie quietly came nearby, but she didn't lose her mind and rush out to save him. Instead, she hid in a corner, waiting for an opportunity. The Lord regretted sending Elodie away for the marriage alliance. He would rather die himself than implicate his daughter again. The enraged evil dragon pressed the Lord to the ground with one claw and pierced his chest with a sharp claw. At this moment, Elodie spoke up to stop the evil dragon from harming him. The evil dragon heard the voice and stopped its actions, then slowly approached this side. Just as Elodie had nowhere to hide, fortunately, the helper spoke up at this moment and saved her life. Sure enough, the evil dragon immediately flew towards the direction of the voice. Elodie took the opportunity to appear and check on the Lord's condition. The Lord's chest had been pierced with a large hole. Before he died, he told Elodie to escape along the rope he had come by, and then take her mother, Lady, and sister, Floria, to escape by boat. After saying this, he died. Elodie was saddened, but now she could only take the opportunity while the evil dragon was not back and climb out along the rope the Lord had come by. The helper was also delaying time there. After searching for a long time, the evil dragon finally discovered the helper hiding there, but it also saw Elodie, who was trying to escape. It casually slapped the helper to death and then quickly flew towards Elodie. Elodie escaped at the last moment and did not dare to stay for a moment. She quickly got on the white horse left by the Lord and continued to escape. However, the evil dragon would not let Elodie, the sacrificial offering, go so easily. It swooped down directly towards Elodie below. The one running on the ground could not compete with the one flying in the sky. Elodie quickly got off and let the white horse divert the evil dragon's attention. She hid under a large rock. The evil dragon flew over Elodie's head without noticing her hiding place. However, the evil dragon saw that there was no one on the white horse and felt that it had been tricked. It angrily turned around and set the surrounding area ablaze. Queen Isabel in the castle saw this scene and guessed that Elodie had not obediently waited for death. To appease the evil dragon's anger, Queen Isabel ordered someone to capture Elodie's sister. Lady tried to stop her but was stabbed on the spot. Elodie hid for a whole day. After escaping from danger, she cried with joy. But before she could come down the mountain, the injured lady came to find her. After meeting, she told Elodie about Floria being captured. Elodie was very anxious. She was afraid that there was not enough time and that she could not rescue Floria alone. So she decided to go back to the evil dragon's cave to save her. According to the agreement, the sacrificial offering could only be an adult girl. Elodie's Floria was not yet an adult, but Queen Isabel was desperate at the moment, so she forcibly merged the royal bloodline into Floria's blood and pushed her into the abyss. When Elodie arrived, it was too late to hear Floria's screams. She used the rope beside her to slide down as well. At this moment, the evil dragon was carrying Floria back to its nest. Elodie, who had entered for the second time, was familiar with the road. Plus, She was worried about Floria, so she went straight to the slug cave. To avoid injury, she applied the slug mucus in advance, cut off her cumbersome long hair, and picked up the soldier's armor. To save people, Elodie used the armor to make a timed trigger. After preparing everything, she picked up Lord's longsword. The evil dragon also saw that Elodie's family was not heartless. It knew that Elodie would definitely come to save her sister. Floria became its bait to lure Elodie. Soon after, the timed device made by Elodie was triggered. The huge noise in the cave attracted the evil dragon's attention. Thinking it was Elodie who made the noise, it immediately flew towards the source of the sound. Elodie successfully lured the evil dragon away using a diversionary tactic and then quickly came to Floria's side. The two sisters had no time to reunite and wanted to escape first. However, Floria had injured her leg and could not move. Elodie had to support Floria and walk. The evil dragon flew to this place full of smoke and dust. After discovering that it had been tricked, it became even angrier. Elodie and her sister tried to escape again, but it was too late. The evil dragon had already returned.
Where are you hiding? That won't kill me. But it will make me angry.
We have both been lied to. They said you set upon their village,
It came unprovoked.
that the king came only to defend his people.
My daughters were the last of my line. Until my final breath.
We are not their daughters.
More lies.
Falling into the water full of mucus healed Elodie's injuries, but the internal injuries still hurt her. At this moment, Floria threw Lord's long sword back. At this moment, Elodie could not care about anything else. She struggled to get up and wanted to pick it up, but the evil dragon had already pounced fiercely. Elodie was pressed to the ground by a claw and could not move. The evil dragon stretched out a fingernail and directly stabbed it into Elodie's waist. The evil dragon underestimated Elodie's instinct for survival. One of its eyes was blinded. Elodie also picked up Lord's sword again and was about to have a final duel with the evil dragon. The evil dragon, which had lost one eye, was caught off guard and was stabbed in the stomach by Elodie with a sword.
One of them!
I smell it in your blood.
Both sides were already badly injured in this fight. The evil dragon stepped closer and closer. Elodie noticed that the wind in the cave might be the key to victory in this terrain, so she gradually lured the evil dragon to come. The evil dragon looked as if it was sure to win. Elodie also spread her hands and prepared to wait for death. The evil dragon was seriously injured by the lava it spewed and fell to the ground motionless. However, Elodie did not let her guard down. She picked up Lord's sword again and slowly walked to the front of the evil dragon.
My sister had this too. That is how they make us royal. They fooled you. You've been killing innocent daughters just like they did.
Then end it.
In the end, Elodie did not kill this evil dragon. She came to the water's edge, picked up the glowing slugs one by one, and placed them on the evil dragon's wounds. At this moment, in the castle, the king and Queen Isabel were holding a third wedding ceremony for Prince Henry, planning to use the third princess as a sacrifice. But at this moment, Elodie appeared inappropriately. Elodie was extremely disgusted with this group of beastly humans in the royal family. Even at this moment, Queen Isabel was still unrepentant. Elodie didn't waste words with her and let the third princess escape first. Some servants who saw that something was wrong also began to flee. At this moment, the evil dragon slowly flew to the top of the castle. It looked down at the royal family below. It was they who had killed its young and deceived it for thousands of years. It roared angrily, then gathered its strength and spewed lava. The entire royal family perished in it, and the kingdom of Aurelia was completely destroyed. In the end, Elodie took this evil dragon back to her own country.